Thanksgiving. For many Americans, it means family, gratitude, and tables overflowing with food, especially potatoes. Mashed potatoes, scalloped potatoes, sweet potato casserole. These dishes are as much a part of the tradition as turkey itself. But before we dive into recipes, we need to talk about what this holiday actually represents. Because the story most of us learned in school, it's incomplete at best. The truth is more complex, more painful, and more important than the simplified narrative of pilgrims and Native Americans sharing a harmonious feast. So let's start there, with honesty. Then we'll talk about how many people today are reclaiming this day as one of genuine gratitude and family connection. And yes, we'll make some incredible potato dishes. The event known as the first American Thanksgiving took place in the autumn of 1621, when around 90 Wampanoag people and 52 English settlers at Plymouth shared a three-day harvest feast that grew out of political necessity and mutual aid, rather than pure friendship or invitation. The gathering featured venison, fowl, and native crops, and although later mythologized as a symbol of goodwill, it was more a practical alliance to ensure survival amid hardship and wary relations. European diseases had already devastated native populations. Estimates suggest up to 90% of indigenous peoples in some areas had died from smallpox, influenza, and other illnesses in the decades before 1621. And what followed that 1621 meal? Decades of broken treaties, land theft, violence, and the systematic destruction of native cultures. Within 55 years, Massasoit's son Metacom, called King Philip by colonists, would lead a desperate war to resist colonial expansion. He was killed, his head displayed on a pike in Plymouth for 25 years. Thanksgiving as a national holiday wasn't established until 1863 by Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. It was explicitly about national unity for a divided, white America. Native Americans weren't part of that conversation. The sanitized story we teach children of peaceful cooperation and mutual celebration erases the genocide, displacement, and cultural destruction that actually defined early colonial history. Since 1970, many Native Americans have observed Thanksgiving as a National Day of Mourning. It's a day to honor Indigenous ancestors who suffered and died due to colonization. A day to protest ongoing injustices. A day to assert that Indigenous peoples are still here, still fighting for sovereignty and rights. Because the impacts of colonization aren't ancient history. Native communities today face disproportionate poverty, health challenges, and violence. Reservations often lack basic resources. Many Indigenous people simply don't celebrate Thanksgiving. That's their right, and it deserves respect. Some gather for solidarity and remembrance instead. Others use the day to educate non-Native people about true history. Acknowledging this history doesn't diminish your family traditions. It honors truth and respects the people for whom this holiday carries very different meaning. So where does that leave those of us who gather on this day? For many Americans, including immigrants who adopted this tradition, families creating their own meanings, people who value any excuse to gather with loved ones. Thanksgiving has evolved beyond its historical origins. They use this day for genuine gratitude, for pausing to appreciate what they have, for connecting with family they might not see often. Many also use this day to give back, volunteering, donating to Indigenous communities, teaching children the real history alongside family traditions. You can hold multiple truths, that the holiday's origins are troubling, and that gathering with people you love to share food and express gratitude is meaningful. That Indigenous people have every right not to celebrate, and that you can choose to observe the day with awareness and respect. Some families now begin their meal by acknowledging the Indigenous lands they're on, by teaching children the real history, by supporting Native-owned businesses and Indigenous causes. And yes, they gather around tables filled with food, including potatoes, lots of potatoes. So let's talk about making those potatoes absolutely perfect. Let's start with the foundation, classic mashed potatoes. There's a reason these are a Thanksgiving staple. Ingredients: 5 pounds russet potatoes, high starch content is essential. 1 cup, 2 sticks, butter, room temperature. 1 to 1.5 cups heavy cream, warmed. Salt and white pepper to taste. Technique. Step 1. Peel potatoes and cut into uniform 2-inch chunks. Uniformity ensures even cooking. Step 2. Start in cold, salted water. This is crucial. Bringing to a boil together ensures even cooking throughout. Step 3. Bring to boil, then reduce to gentle simmer. Cook 15 to 20 minutes until fork tender but not falling apart. Step 4. Drain well. Return to pot for 1 to 2 minutes on low heat to steam dry. Excess moisture makes gluey potatoes. Step 5. Use a ricer for ultimate fluffiness. Don't have one? Use a masher but don't overwork. Step 6. Add room temperature butter first, folding gently. This coats starch granules and prevents gluey texture. Step 7. Add warm cream gradually while folding gently. Stop when texture is perfect. You might not need all the cream. The result: fluffy, creamy clouds of potato perfection. The benchmark all other mashed potatoes are measured against. Here's the Thanksgiving miracle. You can make mashed potatoes 2 days ahead, and they'll taste freshly made. The method: make classic mashed potatoes using the technique above, but keep them slightly firmer. Use less cream. Transfer to a buttered 9 by 13 baking dish. Cover surface with plastic wrap pressed directly on potatoes, prevents drying, then foil. Refrigerate up to 2 days. Thanksgiving Day. Remove from fridge 30 minutes before baking. Remove plastic wrap, keep foil. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit covered for 30 minutes. Then uncovered for 15 minutes until heated through and golden on top. Pro tip: before serving, fold in an extra pat of butter and splash of warm cream to refresh texture. The benefit: one less thing to stress about on Thanksgiving Day. More time with family, less time in the kitchen. Want to elevate classic mashed potatoes? Add roasted garlic. The flavor is incredible, sweet, mellow, complex. Ingredients: everything from classic mashed potatoes. Plus, 2 to 3 heads of roasted garlic. Roasting garlic: cut top 1/4 inch off garlic heads to expose cloves. Drizzle with olive oil, wrap in foil. Roast at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 to 50 minutes until golden and soft. Let cool, then squeeze cloves from skins. They'll come out soft and caramelized. Assembly: make mashed potatoes using classic technique. After adding butter and cream, fold in roasted garlic paste. The result: mashed potatoes with depth. The roasted garlic adds sweetness and complexity without overpowering. Absolutely addictive. For something richer and more elegant, scalloped potatoes au gratin. Ingredients: 4 pounds Yukon Gold potatoes, waxy enough to hold shape. 3 cups heavy cream. 2 cups whole milk. 4 cloves garlic, minced. 3 cups grated Gruyere or sharp cheddar. Salt, pepper, fresh thyme. Butter for the dish. Technique: Step 1. Slice potatoes 1/8 inch thick. A mandolin makes this easier and ensures uniformity. Step 2. Heat cream, milk, garlic, salt, pepper, and thyme until just simmering. Don't boil. Step 3. In buttered 9 by 13 dish, layer potatoes overlapping slightly. Every 2 to 3 layers, pour some cream mixture and sprinkle cheese. Step 4. Continue layering until all potatoes are used. Press down gently. Pour remaining cream over top. Top with remaining cheese. Step 5. Cover with foil, tint it so it doesn't touch cheese. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. Step 6. Remove foil. Bake 20 to 25 more minutes until golden, bubbling, and potatoes are tender. Step 7. Let rest 10 minutes before serving. This lets the sauce set up for cleaner cuts. The result: layers of tender potato bound in rich, creamy sauce with a golden cheese crust. Pure decadence. For visual drama, Hasselback potatoes. They look impressive but are surprisingly easy. Ingredients: 8 to 10 medium Yukon Gold potatoes. 6 tablespoons melted butter. 3 tablespoons olive oil. Fresh rosemary and thyme. Salt and pepper. Optional, Parmesan cheese. Technique: Step 1. The trick: place potato between 2 chopsticks or wooden spoons. Make thin slices, 1/8 inch apart, cutting down until knife hits chopsticks. This prevents cutting all the way through. Step 2. Gently fan slices slightly apart. Step 3. Mix melted butter, oil, minced herbs, salt, and pepper. Brush over potatoes, getting between slices. Step 4. Roast at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 to 60 minutes, basting with butter mixture every 20 minutes. Step 5. Optional, sprinkle Parmesan in the slices for last 10 minutes. The result: crispy edges, tender centers, and a presentation that looks like you spent hours. Guests always ask, how did you do that? Sweet potato casserole. You either love it or find it baffling. We'll cover both versions, with marshmallows and with pecan streusel. Base ingredients: 4 pounds sweet potatoes, roasted and mashed. Half a cup butter, melted. Half a cup brown sugar. 2 eggs. 1/3 cup milk or cream. 1 teaspoon vanilla. 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon. Pinch of nutmeg and salt. Base preparation: mix all base ingredients until smooth. Spread in buttered 9 by 13 dish. Topping option 1. Classic marshmallow. Cover with mini marshmallows. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Then broil briefly to toast marshmallows. Watch carefully. Topping option 2. Pecan streusel. Mix 1 cup brown sugar, half a cup flour, 1/3 cup melted butter, 1 cup chopped pecans. Sprinkle over sweet potatoes. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes until golden. The result: 1 dish, 2 traditions. The marshmallow version is nostalgic and fun. The pecan streusel is more sophisticated. Make both and let people choose. Finally, for those who want simplicity with maximum impact, ultra crispy roasted potatoes. Ingredients: 4 pounds Yukon Gold or red potatoes, cut into 1.5-inch chunks. 1/4 cup olive oil. 4 tablespoons butter, melted. 6 garlic cloves, smashed. Fresh rosemary and thyme. Salt and pepper. Technique. Step 1. Parboil potato chunks in salted water for 8 to 10 minutes until just starting to soften. Drain well. Step 2. Crucial step. Shake drained potatoes in colander or pot to rough up the surfaces. These rough edges will crisp beautifully. Step 3. Toss with oil, melted butter, smashed garlic, herbs, salt, and pepper. Step 4. Spread on preheated baking sheet in single layer. Don't crowd. Use 2 pans if needed. Step 5. Roast at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 to 45 minutes, flipping once halfway through. They should be deeply golden and crunchy. The result: the crispiest roasted potatoes you'll ever make. The parboiling and roughing up technique creates surface area that becomes incredibly crunchy. People will fight over these. 7 potato dishes. 7 different techniques. Enough variety to make everyone at your table happy. Because that's really what Thanksgiving has become for many people: a day to gather with loved ones, share abundant food, and express gratitude for what we have. We can hold complexity. We can acknowledge the painful origins of this holiday, respect Native Americans who observe it as a day of mourning, teach our children the real history, support Indigenous communities, and still create a meaningful day of gratitude and family connection. The potatoes? They're just the vehicle. What matters is the people you share them with. Quick tips for Thanksgiving Day. Make ahead mashed potatoes, save precious oven space and time. Start roasted potatoes when turkey comes out to rest. Sweet potato casserole can be assembled the day before. Scalloped potatoes hold well in a warm oven. Keep mashed potatoes warm in a slow cooker on low with a bit of cream on top. Sample timeline for 3 p.m. dinner. 10 a.m. Prep and start scalloped potatoes. 11 a.m. Assemble Hasselback potatoes. 12 p.m. Put make-ahead mashed in oven when turkey comes out. 1 p.m. Turkey resting. Start roasted potatoes. 2:30 p.m. Quick broil on sweet potato casserole. 3 p.m. Everything ready. However you choose to observe this day, whether gathering with family, volunteering in your community, supporting Indigenous causes, or simply taking time for reflection, I hope these recipes serve you well. Food has a way of bringing us together. Even complicated holidays can become opportunities for honest conversation, genuine gratitude, and shared humanity. As for the potatoes, they're just potatoes. Humble, nourishing, adaptable to countless traditions. Ironically, they come from Indigenous peoples of the Andes who cultivated them for 8,000 years. Another gift from Native Americans that we often forget to acknowledge. So as you make your mashed potatoes, your scalloped potatoes, your sweet potato casserole, remember where they came from. Honor the people who gave us this incredible crop, and enjoy your feast with awareness, with gratitude, with the people you love. If you found this helpful, both the history and the recipes, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm committed to honest food content that acknowledges complexity while still celebrating what brings us joy.